Hello, everybody, and welcome to day three of our April 2026 Gold Speed Tournament. My name is John Flindo. Joining me in the booth in a moment is Archer Lewis, and we have three fantastic matches for you today. We have Influx and Adelito, we have Don and Betty, and we have the winner of those matches battling it out for the April crown. First up, we've got Influx and Adelito. And Archer, this is a matchup that really needs no introduction.
Yeah, we've seen these two at it before, time and time again. Usually in the finals, this is a finals match, really, happening in the semis. So you know for sure this is going to be one heck of a watch for everyone watching right now. Uh, as we look at the stats here, Adelito is ahead 8-4, but we know that Influx can hit hard and isn't afraid to isn't afraid to try anything. He's a very patient player, will wait to make those big brain combos that you see him making, and it's just wonderful to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of these guys really capable of doing that. Just waiting on readies from our players. Looks like we have Influx finishing up a little warm up here. Oh, nice combo.
Ooh, that was nice. Let's hope he can do some other things like that in this level bracket. That would be nice to see.
Yeah,
Let's hope both of them are able to, because we love to see it. Surely.
yeah, Adelito in chat saying that was a scary. Yeah, so while we are waiting, this is the 13th matchup between these two players, believe it or not. Adelito leads the entire series 8-4, but this is their fourth time to meet in the semis. Adelito leads that series 2-1, and the last three have gone to deciders, and they've both played each other in three of the last 4 months. And Adelito leads that series 2-1.
Yeah, but there's no telling what this matchup will have in store. Maybe Influx will turn the tide. Maybe Adelito will continue with the winning streak that he's gotten for himself. Who's to say? But we are waiting for those readies, and it seems like Influx is just getting himself prepared. We got it ready from Adelito.
And a high good luck from Influx.
Just a brief technical issue, which happens, happens from time to time.
Oh, and
But
thank you for the 5 gift subs from Larva12. The support is always appreciated. And we have it ready from Influx and from Adelito. So we're going to be going here in just a moment.
you're just waiting on the countdown.
Three, two,
In
one,
three,
and
two,
go.
one, pills. Let's see what they can do.
All right, liking this board for Influx. It's yeah, it's kind of color dependent. Needing a lot of red, needing a lot of yellow, but all the colors that he's got are kind of grouped up to where he's going to be doing some really cool things, especially now that he got that double red. Really nice play there early from Influx. Speaking over at Adelito, also a lot of red on his board. A little surprised that he didn't go to the right with that, but he was thinking one step ahead where I was and got a really nice drop. L yeah.
Yeah, I saw that L, yeah, kind of cooking in the background there, waiting for the right pills to happen for Adelito in order to be able to to make it hit off without any hitches. But it did take some time to make that setup, and as we can see, Influx is down to 12 viruses, while Adelito is at 15, now 14. It's pretty close at this point in time. It is a bit too early to say who's really in the lead because they are just so close.
Yeah, and Adelito really wanting this blue red. I had a good track record, and there it is again of
There it is.
calling blue reds, and then they showed up. So there's another one for these guys. But just needing three more blues is Adelito. He's actually sprung into a little bit of a lead here, and there it is out at a 126 for Adelito. Influx just waiting for that last red. There it is, 133 for Influx.
Yeah, two very good times going out of level 10 into level 11. And already Adelito is just setting up these quick stacks in his top line to clear off viruses quickly and efficiently. Meanwhile, Influx is top board isn't terrible, but the color formations could lead to some problems later down the line. As you can see, there is like kind of a half a Tetris line of reds in the lower center of the board, as you can see, going all the way along, just with the columns the 3 to 6, just all red. But he is making do, as we can see right now.
Yeah, meanwhile, over here on Adelito's side, making combos, dropping things down. A lot of blue and yellow, though, here in this mid game. Opening up a little bit of red access in column three and finding that horizontal blue, able to drop some stuff down and open up that column five pretty darn good, actually. But I gotta think Adelito is wanting to clear these blues out horizontally, and this yellow blue is going to give him the exact setup that he needs to be able to do that. Now,
Oh,
oh, and look at
he's
this.
making it into a cross. Oh,
Mm.
but just lost it with I think an accidental clear maybe toward the end of the setup, but finding ways to clear the rest of those blues out quickly. Meanwhile, over on Influx's side, making a nice little quick drop combo. Down to 4 viruses is Influx. Meanwhile, Adelito is out into his level 12.
Yeah, Influx just need, excuse me, one more red. There it is, out at a 325. Joining in Adelito rather in level 12. Now we are playing levels 10 through 13, and this is now a best of 5 rather than a best of 3. So keep that in mind as we are moving along here. They're going to have to win 3 if they want to punch their ticket to the finals. And I love that undertuck by Adelito to get the drop cross. That was really, really nice.
Yeah, I saw that happening from a mile away. You could just tell that he wanted it. And Influx making a nice cross clear into a drop combo. Very, very nice over there as well. And as we look at their boards, as we look at Influx's board, the color combinations are fairly evenly matched all throughout, but I'm noticing now there's actually quite a bit of yellow to deal with. And he's not really getting much in the way of yellow right now.
Yeah, and it's something that you really don't want to see, especially if you're an Influx fan here. Even if you're not an Influx fan, you hate to see anybody get um, that kind of RNG. It's like, come on, game, at least make it fair. But speaking of needing some RNG help, Adelito was needing a lot of blue. I mean, still needs this double blue to open that bottom board up, and he's got it now. Just needing 3 more blues, though. There's one, there's two, there's another one. Out at a 451. Adelito just on an absolute tear here. And going into 13, and I gotta say, this is a great starting board for him. A lot of color diversity at the top. He's got places for almost everything, to be honest. Really, yellow blue is the only pill that he's not going to be able to use right away.
Yeah, lots of potential for quick clears. And as you were saying about blues and yellows, I mean, well, blues and reds as well. He's finding ways to clear his board, is Adelito. Meanwhile, Influx is out into his level 13 at about a 525, 526. Um, and already just going at it with the combos, getting set up. As you can see, he's looking to make a horizontal blue to drop the red down. So let's see how that works out. Making very quick short stacks over on the left-hand side of the board. Meanwhile, looking back at Adelito, he is down to 22 viruses, just speeding through this level 13.
Yeah, and Influx getting a little bit of a blue red rush actually. That's kind of wild to see. or was it red blue? I blue red blue. I didn't don't quite remember which side it was on, but either way, he comes out of it, and it was nice when the timing of it was because he was able to clear out a lot of stuff, and
Ooh.
that was a huge combo right
Oh, oh,
there.
wombo combo that was.
Yeah, Infox not going down without a fight. But with that nice little move from Adelito, he's gonna get a 631. And
Jeez.
I've got to check. I gotta check this because that's insane.
Yeah, that was, very fast.
That
Very, very quick.
that is the hot time for 10 to 13.
It Oh my goodness.
Previously was a
And how?
632. And look at this. Infox throwing down a 655, which is the number 4 hot time.
To lose with a 6:55 is mind-blowing. What can you say to that? Oh my goodness.
This is double PB strats. PB strats never lose until they do. What the heck is going
Incredible.
on?
It just shows that the caliber of playing with all players is just increasing month over month over month. We've seen incredible plays happening this month and the months previous. It's just getting better and better and better. If this is the first crown of semi-final Sunday, who's to say what else is going to happen today? This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow, golly. We're gonna be seeing sub 6.5 soon out of one of these guys. Influx saying PB strats insufficient. Yeah, no kidding.
Mm.
But we will get reset for game two out of potentially five here. Adelito would love to make it just game two out of three, but Influx is going to have something to say about that for sure. As we have readies from both our players, and Adelito saying now we're both going to get 8+ for sure. I mean, at least for me, when I get a really hot time, it scares me because yeah, usually the next seed like in 6 through 9 is gonna be 7+. So it's not fair, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. We'll see what happens here as we have our 3, 2, 1 pills. And ooh, that's all I can say is ooh.
Yeah, these boards are, dare I say it, interesting, but I can see the Influx is setting up a really nice oh
Oh,
my
oh, oh,
goodness.
almost broke
Ooh!
it there. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
gonna break it early, but still, don't break it.
maybe, Influx was sharing the sentiments of, us going, "Ew," and wanted to break the game to get a new board, who knows? But but he is making incredible work on this board so far. Meanwhile, looking over at Adelito, has a very interesting setup of his own, just waiting on this blue, and look at this drop clear. Incredible. Just these plays from these two, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, it did leave him with a little bit of garbage, and then clearing that garbage out left him with a little bit of drop time. But he's pretty much got it cleared out now. Just needing this red yellow. There you go. And I gotta think he is maybe gonna try to go for this blue L looking thing on the left side of his board. He's definitely okay. No, he's now signaling that no, I don't want to do that because that's gonna take way too much blue dependency, and that's the right call.
Yeah, it's just look at all these setups that they're making right now, and we see Adelito at the bottom of his board just needing mostly blues and yellows and one red, but just having the setups available to him to be able to clear it out. Oh, look at that all red fat
Oh,
lobe just at the bottom of the board there too, and making this nice yellow L. Just ridiculous.
yeah,
What can you say?
it was a yell. Oh,
Nice. Yeah, a yell
149,
OE.
150. Golly.
Sheesh. Now, I gotta say, these boards are a fair bit better than their level 10s, and they're just getting right to work, getting set up with Adelito with the blues and yellows and the little bit of blue red that he had initially, just making all these quick combos, quick clears to get through quickly, efficiently. Down to 38 viruses is 37 now is Adelito, and down to 30 is Influx, just speeding through this level.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure whose board I like better. They both have advantages, they both have disadvantages to them. A blue yellow, and
This
there it is absolutely huge for Influx. It takes a he takes away a little bit of the drop that he had, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because one, it eliminates the drop time, and two, if those yellows had dropped down, he may have been looking at least another graphical glitch here. So that
Yeah.
may be a blessing in disguise there for Influx, as he now has an 11 virus lead over Adelito.
Yeah, he's not taking that first crown loss laying down, that is for sure. He is speeding through this. But Adelito is also just, going through quite quickly. You can see while he may be behind right now, he has got this really interesting combo getting set up. Look at this. Just getting everything all set up nice and compact so that it's easy to clear everything off and without much difficulty. Now he's just waiting on looks to be a yellow, and there we go. Making sure not to drop the red yellow and accidentally cause a fat log out at a 339.
Yeah, 339. And that was a really good play too by Adelito because he knew if he dropped the red yellow down at the bottom, then it was going to clear out the yellows. But so instead, he went ahead and took the drop time and dropped it down to where only the yellow would clear at the bottom and preserve that horizontal drop. So it was a really, really nice play by Adelito. But here, keeping up with what our players are doing now, we have Influx setting up some pretty crazy stuff and huge drop there.
Yeah, that was another ridiculous combo. We're just seeing all of these really big brain combos that these two are coming out with, and it's just wonderful to see. And we can see he's making. Oh, I thought he might have put the double blue to finalize the T, but no, opting with the blue yellow to drop the yellow piece, the yellow half onto a yellow virus, so it's all set up and ready to go as of when.
Yeah, and the reason for that, he didn't need two. He only needed one half. So he was trying to use every pill half as efficiently as possible. And there were better places to put the double yellow. So it's a really nice, good heads up play by Influx. Peek over at Adelito now. He's brought this down to just a 3 virus deficit. A lot of blue, though, that he's going to need to get through. Got yeah, there it is. I was waiting for him to tuck that double red into the bottom of his board, and I like that. I like that drop time that he went ahead and took. Um, but yeah, just I don't know who's going to get out of this one first. Honestly, probably Influx if he can get the reds that he needs. Right now, getting blues and yellows because that's just how this game works sometimes.
Yeah, just typical malpractice from the doctor, giving the pills that you absolutely don't need when you're waiting on a very specific pill color. But out at about a 5:43 was Influx and getting all these setups going, looking to be making a horizontal to get the drop blue set up. And there we go, nice side T clear. And Adelito was out at about a 6:02 into his level 13 as well.
Yeah, just south of 6 minutes actually for Adelito, which is still fantastic.
Mm.
But they're both of these guys are about a whole level behind where they finished the last seed, because it's like 6 seconds more, and Adelito was already finished in the last seed. Both players now kind of trying to work through some setups that they've got going on. Adelito dropping things right down the center of the board. Influx has now opened his issues up and now has access to a whole lot more, but goodness gracious, a lot of yellow in this mid game that he's got to work his way through.
Yeah, that's a lot of yellow and a fair bit of blue. Well, some of it is garbage that he had put down, but we can see that he is making good work in clearing the blue so that he can get to the yellow as well. Meanwhile, looking over at Adelito's board,
Oh,
oh, he had that yellow horizontal setup and he was unable to take it because he cleared something else that was acting as the bridge to be able to place it down. That's unfortunate. But finding another way to clear it, just a little bit slower than what he might have initially planned, but still making good work of this board. But it is now 8 to 17 in favor of Influx, and Influx just needs a couple blues, a few yellows, and some reds, and then he'll be all done.
Yeah, and I was just thinking again, oh, Influx needs a red blue, and it showed up. Uh, so man, yeah, just waiting now. A double red would be most ideal for Influx, or he can do that as well. Now just waiting to fire off that yellow until the very end because he does not want to take all that drop time. 807, and just as Adelito predicted, +8 for both of these players right after, as Adelito just needing a couple more blues. There they are. And an 819 for Adelito. We have a tie so far in crowns. A best of five has now become a best of three.
Yeah, some really incredible playing from both of them, and it is fun how Alito was predicting roughly what times they might get with this one. It's quite interesting. But as you said, it's now they're even. So let's see what else they can throw at these boards.
Yeah. Uh, now sub sevens or sub nines, your choice, says Adelito. I'm thinking it's going to be in the 7 to 8 range, or between 7 and 8 for this crown for both of these guys, and I'm going to call a tie. I'm going to call a tie on this match. Let's see
Yeah,
level
we
14.
we need more ties. We really do. All right. Ooh,
Right, and we
interesting
are
board.
off.
I'm really liking these setups that both of them are making. You can see Influx just needing to clear that blue and then put a yellow down, and he'll have a really nice drop short stack combo going on. Let's see the magic happen. Come on.
Yeah, I really want to see this fire off. Oh, come on. There's the
Oh,
red yellow. He had to take out the reds on the left side. But again, it's the same point as I had earlier. Not that big a deal because game breaks are a
mm.
thing.
Yeah, and you don't want to run the risk of a game break because I mean you'll have to start the level all over again, and with how quickly these two are playing, that could just break the entire run, and you really don't want that to happen in when the stakes are this high. But looking over, it is 9 to 11 in favor of Influx at this point in time. But again, it's early days yet, so there's no telling what could happen right now.
Yeah, and needing blues only for Influx. Adelito just, oh, what a
Oh
combo there.
wow.
Really, really nice. We're going to see this blue undertuck. He's going to go ahead and take the drop time because it's efficient. Influx out at like a 133. Interesting play by Adelito, but it leaves him an undertuck. He's out at a 140. And yeah, pretty close here as we go into level 11. I don't really like either top line, to be honest.
Yeah, neither of these top lines are particularly preferable. Like there's potential depending on the RNG, but of course you can say that for a lot of boards. But I think I like Influxes a little bit more just with the potential for if there's a red rush, he can just wipe out all of those reds that he's got right now. But getting mostly yellows and some blues, but now getting the reds that he needs as well. So it all works out. Meanwhile, with Adelito, there's this really interesting setup right at his top line. Let's see. Will he take it? Will he? Yeah, there we go. Look at this. Very nice.
Yeah, I think he was maybe waiting to see if he could get a double yellow and get that over into column one. But I definitely cannot fault him for going ahead and setting that off a little bit early because as the speed increases every 8 viruses here, that was going to be really really tough.
Yeah, that would have been quite the risky endeavor. And sometimes you just need to, pull the ripcord on a combo and just deal with the consequences of it. You don't want to play too risky, otherwise you run the risk of topping out and again having to restart the level. You don't want that when, as we said, when the stakes are this high, when things are this risky, you don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, that Adelito has this really nice combo set up. Oh, and fires it off a little bit differently than I expected. But now just wanting to get rid of that blue so that he can clear out the red horizontally is Influx is out at a 334. Uh, Adelito just trying to maintain the deficit and a wise decision there to go ahead and take the top yellow out and enabling him to still get the bottom one and still maintain the red horizontal. He's out of the 351, and these top lines. What is up with this seed?
Yeah,
I don't like them.
yeah. These seeds, dare I say it, they've been a bit cursed. They've not been very nice. But you know, these players they make do. As we can see, Adelito is setting up this really interesting drop clear, just maybe waiting on a double yellow, or maybe he's opting to manufacture it with the red yellows over there. There we go, getting the nice drop clear, and boom, there goes the
Mhm.
combo.
It was like a long split H. That was really cool.
Very very nice.
And
Uh,
a little surprised that the game didn't at least glitch on that.
I think sometimes it picks and chooses when it wants to panic. You know, sometimes you play a combo that looks like it will break and it doesn't. Other times you're like, oh, this is fine, it won't break, and it does. The marvel that is this game
Yeah.
is all I can say about that. But as we look back at our players, Influx is now down to 12 viruses, and Adelito is down to 18 virus, 17 now. Speeding through these levels are these two players just showing us what they're made of.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the nice drop clear
Oh.
there.
The fat log
There.
from Adelito.
Yeah.
Yeah, love to see it. And look, a yellow red, and there it is. Absolutely beautiful for him. Gets like a sideways F clear. Actually, that was wild. And now just needing two more reds, but Influx able to maintain that lead. 540 for Adelito. Didn't quite see what time the Influx got out at, but this is a little bit better
Ooh.
starting board for Adelito, and that was a really nice combo to start off.
Yeah, really nice drop horizontal. I saw that potential right from the beginning of the board loading in. I was just hoping he'd take it, and he did. But looking back over at Influx, he's got this interesting setup happening here. I'm not entirely sure what he's planning for, but
Yeah. Well,
there we go. There we go. See, these two just seeing things that us mere mortals might not have been able to. That was ridiculous. I'm gonna say it was ridiculous.
yeah, those are the kinds of plays that Influx really, really loves to do. And I think to some degree he kind of taught Adelito how to sniff those out as well. And we're seeing a very, very close game. For a moment, it was a dead heat here. Adelito has retaken the lead here for a moment, but look at this huge again combo from Influx. He's still about six viruses behind though, and Adelito is not backing down that red horizontal. He's able to get that. I mean, he has an opportunity here to maybe de-sandwich these blues, and that does seem to be what he is going for. And I think at some point we'll see him, yep, start to stack some
Mhm.
yellows up on top, gets the de-sandwich, and this should almost fire it off, but the red was a little bit in the way. Here we go, 725 for Adelito, and a 7 something, a 732. Now, what did I say? Right in
Yep.
between 7 and 8 for these guys
Yeah.
this seed.
Slap bang in the middle. You called it. You really called it. Incredible.
Now it is 2-1 advantage Adelito. Um, ah, Wild. They've just been going back and forth. So, I mean, If the pattern continues, this will be Inflox's crown, and he's got to have this crown if he wants to stay alive.
Yeah, and I mean, we all love a decider match, so hopefully Influx is able to get the crown, if only, for even more Dr. Mario. How you can't complain about that for sure. Like we want to see more content. We want to see more Dr. Mario playing. Come on, give us the crowns.
Yeah, and Arco in our chat calling for sub sixes. I don't know if that's possible, but if anybody was going to do it, it'd be one of these guys.
Yeah, like these two are just you know bringing their A games for sure. So if anyone can do it, it would be them.
Yeah.
And we have our 3-2-1 pills, and again, these boards are interesting. I'm not too fond of them, but maybe they see things that we don't. So it's all a matter of waiting and seeing at this point.
Yeah, I see what Adelito's got cooking up here, and he was just waiting for that
Oh
yellow
my
blue to
god.
drop it all down. I was setting up the same combo in my head, and I was like, "Come on, where's the pill? Where's the pill?" A little surprised. Well, no, and I'm not actually surprised at all. Now he does what I was fixing to say. A little surprised that he didn't go ahead and do that. But as I peeked down a little further, he was really waiting for a red blue to fire that off down and make some really nice things happen, but he wasn't getting it. Makes the wise decision just to go ahead and take the smaller combo. I like it. It's 21 for in Adelito and 21 now 19 for Influx. Probably going to see, yep, takes the drop time to get the red horizontal and is now set up for another red horizontal and actually just blocks it off momentarily, but he's going to get it back as soon as he gets any yellow, but this yellow blue going to be the most ideal. Holy cow.
Yeah, these two are just going pill for pill, virus for virus right now. They are so close in this level 10.
Oh,
Ooh, with a little bit of a misdrop there from Influx. But as we look over at Adelito, his board right now is just so clean, just waiting on a couple reds now, and he'll be out. There we go, there's one, and getting the double red just to really cement it in. 140 for Adelito into his level 11, and 144 out of 10 into 11 is Influx.
yeah, about a 3 4 second difference here as we move into our second level. Again, Influx really needing to win this one if he wants to
Ooh.
stay in this tournament, and that was a really wild combo. Now Influx waiting for a double blue. Most ideally, he could also, get a red blue. And speak of the devil, there it is. He's not going to go for it though, and he's just going to take the garbage here, and I don't blame him for it. He could have done some different little bracket clears to avoid any garbage, but I think he just wanted to get that going and not waste too much time on it.
Yeah, I feel like waiting on a double blue is a very risky endeavor. You very rarely should wait on a double blue, given how infrequent that specific color combination tends to be. You're better off manufacturing it, if anything. But taking the yellow blue was the smarter call in that regard. 19 to 20 in favor of Influx at this point in time. Just these two again, just speeding through these boards. As we can see with Adelito, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of yellow.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Influx's doctor ordered on Adelito's side. Just he really needed something to go a little awry. Ari, I don't know how you pronounce that, but what Adelito has been getting is what Influx needed. But Adelito's now working his way through it. In fact, if he gets a yellow blue, he's going to clear out the rest of this really darn quick. But Influx just needing these two reds, he will be out first, and Adelito right behind. It's just like a 2 second game here.
Yeah, and that time is more than easily made up between these two. Just being so close at this point in time, Influx getting a really nice, quick, all red horizontal clear just underneath a cluster of pills and viruses that he had set up previously, getting just these really nice, quick, efficient clears is Influx. But then we look over at Adelito's board, and he is setting up a fat log. There we go. Very nice.
It's fat
Into a
low.
T clear.
I can't at least not reference it.
It's got to be done. It has to
It's
be has to be done.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. Speaking what else has to be done, Adelito has to find a way to open up this mid game, and he has just about found it. Um, see if he'll create a bracket clear. No, he didn't create a bracket clear. I thought he was going to go for a long L looking thing in the center of his board. Saw something else that I didn't see, and that was the better play.
Yeah, I think it may well have been that he might have been planning for the bracket clear initially, but maybe something related to the pill sequence that he was getting, or just the amount of drop time, and he opted to go for the play that seemed a little bit safer as well. So ultimately, ultimately, it all worked out for him pretty well. 19 to 18. Oh, was that a swim from Influx just then? I think I just saw out right from the corner of my eye. That was very nice. Getting
I
this horizontal is Influx as well.
Yeah, I was watching Influx board. If he did a swim, then I missed it, which makes me really sad. But I did not miss that really nice undertuck to clear out some reds and some blues. Influx just needing a heck of a lot of blue here to get through this. Adelito getting that yellow or the red, excuse me, and interestingly enough, going for the vertical instead of the horizontal. Now, the interesting thing about that is if it's your last clear of the board, then it is slightly faster to clear horizontally now as Influx out at a 551 into this last level, but Adelito going for the vertical instead on that, and it's really interesting. So, but either way, he gets out first, and he is making up some pretty good setups here. Yeo sees what's in his
Ooh.
next box and moves that pill over to the right. Really nice play.
Yeah, it's important to pay attention to the next box, especially when you have moments like that where you could make an even better setup just based on what's happening next. It's always good to pay attention. 33 to 30 in favor of Adelito at this point in time in this final level. I mean, it could end up in a decider, but with the way things are going, they are just it's hard to predict. It really is.
Yeah, and we see Adelito now having to build up to manufacture a double yellow, wisely not waiting around for that because that was going to be a huge pickle
Mm.
if he did not if he didn't get it. So I really love the decision there by Adelito to just go ahead and manufacture that, keep your board going, and just continue on in your board. But it's 14 to 13 now. Influx has been able to bring this back. This red yellow though, huge for Adelito.
Yeah, just it's so close. It you can't keep your eyes off of it, otherwise you will miss so much. As you can see, they are just right down to the wire, and Adelito, I think, is looking to now clear that red and maybe get a fat log going or
Oh,
a
but
drop.
look, one more blue, and Influx has
Oh,
got
one
this
more.
all cleared out. But it's not going to be enough. Adelito
Oh,
gets the pill that he needs, and Influx with that monster combo, but a 745. He just could not get the blue in time. Adelito takes the game and the match, and will be going on to the finals to play the winner of Dawn Vineyard versus Betty B plays G's, which is coming up next. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be wild. This is the DRMC.
Welcome back, friends, to the DRMC. I am Ook, and joining me for the second of our semifinal matches is Packy619. And Pack, I was just saying earlier, I guess it's kind of lucky for our leadership that the four of us who've been commentating lost yesterday. Otherwise, I don't know who would have called the matches. But this one is one that we've seen a few times before with Dawn versus Betty, and man, these two have seen each other a lot, and in fact, have seen each other on a Sunday one time back in April of 2025.
Yeah, that would be about a year ago. Yeah, there's a lengthy history between these two players, dating all the way back to 2021, starting with the Silver Championship that year. But Don has won every single matchup and is 7-0 against Betty. So number wise, Betty's up against it right now. But hey, you make it to semifinal Sunday, all bets are off.
And Betty is 1-1 in this round. She won back in April of 25, and then lost to Frank in May of 25. So she's never been swept in a semifinal. Uh, she's she doesn't have as much experience there as Dawn does, but you know what? There's no time like the present. Dawn, of course, a
Yep.
three-time champion, one-time runner-up as well. So they're going to add it. 3-2-1 pills.
Interesting board. A couple of double yellows to start with, and immediately Don has no yellow access. So now he's going to have to get a little creative at the start of his board.
I like that
While
setup though. It really worked out for him.
yeah, looking at Betty's board, it's a bit floaty for a level 10. You, because at this point you don't expect to see floaty boards. You expect the viruses to be a bit more dense now that you're getting into the later levels. Nice sweet tea there into a drop combo for Betty. I'm liking these setups she's got going.
Yeah, she was waiting around for a minute for that extra blue, and actually had some garbage that double yellow really fixed. So getting good pills and being patient is Betty. Speaking of patience, check out what Don's got set up. He needs two blues. Hasn't been getting a lot of blue here, and it really is. He's going to need blue no matter what. So I understand the patience here, but once he gets two blues,
Oh
then he
man.
will be able to run this as a as a drop combo. It's going to be nice. Decides to go ahead and burn through one of them, but he's almost there. He's just waiting around for this one next blue pill, and that just shows you how bad the RNG has been for him here. Gets
Yeah,
that
he
cross.
he had a big old hot dog run where he was getting a lot of reds and yellows, and he did get a blue red in the mix somewhere, but because of the bracket setup he had in columns 1 and 2, he was kind of forced to take that instead.
Yeah, he's there we go. I was gonna say
Oh,
he's
this is a
he's
nice
waiting
yeah.
around to get that red to drop. He really didn't want to drop anything but a red. Now he's looking for a red yellow, and there he gets it, which is good because it was going to be an issue. Almost ties it up there as it is now 4-4. He does have a tie, but Betty, with her setups already pretty ready to go, can take it with this pill, goes ahead and does it, takes the drop time. She's going to be out at a 205.
You'd like to get a sub 2 in level 10, but that was pretty rough for both players. Don's still trying to get through the last of his level 10. Doc just not giving him much blue to work with at all. It's oh man, this is torture.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he went ahead and well, now he's not setting it for the horizontal. I thought maybe he might go for the horizontal clear on the red just because he knows he's getting reds and kind of take everything out, but goes ahead and just knocks out the blues. Might have an opportunity here, but no, he's just going to take two more reds and call it. But it's almost a 3-minute 10, and that's going to give Betty quite a bit of advantage here. It's already 16 virus difference between these two just at the start of level 11.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left in this match, and Don is very capable of catching up. But Betty's playing really clean right now. Nice drop combo there, where the
Oh no,
lightning log.
not the cat.
Oh no.
Jay, come get your cat.
Oh, geez. I think the cat might have caused a misdrop in column 4.
Oh, we've seen Ibar play with
This
with
this has this
child
has been a
strats.
little this has been a little bit of everything.
I don't think we've ever quite seen this much of a cat attack. Oh gosh. It looks like Jay has saved the day. I'm assuming it's Jay who managed it and got the cat out of the way. But Betty's still with about actually hasn't lost any of her lead. It's still about 16 viruses, but that could have been
Yeah,
disaster.
it was a uniquely entertaining potential disaster, but glad to see that it seems like the feline interference has ceased. Looking at
Mm-mm-mm.
Don's board over here, though, for a moment, now that we're all catted out, I kind of like what he's doing here, but right now he does not need red at all.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say he looks like he's trying not to take the blue part and make a fat log out of that. And I mean, he's just literally trying to take the blues out as efficiently as possible. And again, we're looking at what it was nearly a 3 minute level 10, and he is right at a 2 minute level 11. So it's been a tough run for Don.
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes for level 11 honestly isn't all that bad, but of course we all want to do better than that. But Don right now is 28 viruses behind. That is going to be really tough to make up. Waiting for that red blue. Here it is. Two, three,
Oh,
four, five, six. Six clear combo.
really nice there. Over on Betty's side, she is closing this one down. Has some ideas for some horizontals. You saw a touch of hesitation there, but not very much hesitation because she knew what she wanted. Now she wants a yellow followed by a blue, or just takes the blue. Look at this drop into a into an offset fat log. That was timber right there.
This is pretty good time for Betty so far. Under 6 minutes out of 12. Looking at this board here, this is just screaming horizontal opportunities. The question is, where is it going to be? And it looks like it's going to be right down the middle of this line of yellows.
She's wanting a yellow red. I don't know if that's going to happen. Meanwhile,
She's
over
going to
on
get a yellow
Dawn's,
blue, so she'll just go ahead and take that. She also had the option of taking the L clear on the far right if she really wanted to, but that's the nice thing about that setup is that you have two different options.
yeah, meanwhile on Dawn's side, he is here in his end game. And yeah, again, he's horizontals are kind of the play here. This is the right fat log. He had kind of waited around for that. Now it's well, yeah, okay. I feel like the double yellow might have been misdropped, but he is not going anywhere to fix it. So it looks like he's going to set it up. Gonna get himself out at a 708. Not the time he wanted, but he still has an opportunity to try to take this back, but you feel like it's gonna need a bit of a miracle to take out where the lead that Betty's already built.
Yeah, this is a 28 virus chase down, and that is no joke. Interesting setup for Betty here, seeing how she's gonna attack the left hand side of her board. Obviously needs some blue to tackle column 1 and even everything back out. Nice little drop combo is going to knock out 4 more yellow viruses.
Yeah, but all that yellow that Betty's getting just not what she wants. But able to make that work.
Right, Betty is just starting to set up this big cascade on her right hand side because once she reaches that point, all she needs to do is take out that bridge of red viruses on the right hand side, and then everything else just falls into place. But that leaves her left hand side, which still needs to be handled. Nice horizontal clear there. Gets a nice double yellow here so she can Tuck that in. Goes for the horizontal clear instead. Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
there we go.
Very nice drop combo there. And
Had-
all she needs is a few red and a blue.
I had been kind of worried watching that right hand side or that left hand side kind of disintegrate, but Betty had her plans, and those plans are going to get her out at an 837.
Betty takes game one. Very nicely done. Dawn, valiant effort trying to bring it back a little bit. Managed to make up some of the deficit, but game one to Betty, game two to come.
And, I mean, if you're Dawn, you got to be saying to yourself, I had a really rotten 10 and it just kind of cascaded from there. And if you're going to have a bad time, you want it to be up against one of your opponent's better times. Actually, that's one of Betty's worst times in this block just because she's only got 5 times recorded. But honestly, a solid time. It was a very solid time for Betty. And you don't want to be putting your worst against your opponent's worst. You want your opponent to be having a really good run when everything's going wrong for you so that, the momentum doesn't shift you can do better.
Just wait for the
So,
luck pendulum to swing back your way.
yeah. And I mean, that's why these are best of 5 because we're trying to keep that luck from being the deciding factor. And speaking of luck, just a real lucky first pill there for Dawn. That was real nice.
Yeah, very good opener for Don. He'd love to see a red blue soon. He's just going to go ahead and take that because he has no interest in waiting for that because the fickle nature of RNG might be in his head a little bit, but it would be in anybody's head after a 10 like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the T. Bam. Off to a really quick start.
Dawn with a 9 virus lead right now. Here very early in this level 10, and that's just more of what we expect when we see Dawn play. That was very much an abnormal start for him in the last game, so he's finding his way back.
was waiting for
Nice
that.
drop combo there.
Very nice combo for Dawn there. This is nice drop combo. This is going to be an incredible 10. Oh, look at how easily he just set this all up. Now he just needs one more red, and he's going to be out at 113.
Betty not far behind. She had some competing setups there that honestly the way the pills came out, it was kind of a next box miss, I think. Just I saw kind of one pill that I thought was the right pill, and then it didn't work out. It's the way this thing goes. But she's got a really clean end game now. Just has the one issue with this red in column 6. Looks like she is going to have that set up for a horizontal, and then it's just a matter of what's going to come first. Oh, she goes for the yellow half of the yellow red and pays for it by 2 pills. She's out at a 154 and takes a second to catch up or catch her breath before she hits start and starts her 11.
Dawn might want to check out speedrun.com and clip that level 10 because the world record for level 10 on speedrun is 1 minute 15 seconds.
Wow.
And I know because I set an unofficial world record during weekly checkup last Thursday.
All right. Well, it's only a 9
Look at
virus
this
difference
nice
right
drop
now.
combo.
And both players finding good quick plays, keep themselves moving forward. Dawn hoping for a double blue, honestly, would be his happy place. But, we all know better than to depend on that. Looks like he might
He's
set up.
setting
Oh,
up
there's the
something
double
huge.
blue.
This double blue is going to trigger everything. Everything's just going to drop right into place. Nice combo by Dawn, setting up the rest of his board. He's going to need a pretty decent amount of blue to finish this one out. Oh, double blue. And another double blue. Now he just needs 2 reds and then a blue. And there's the red, and there's the blue. 325 out of level 11.
But look at where Betty is. She had a big combo just a second ago to really set herself up. Now just needs 4 reds to finish this out. 3 if one of them is a double, but is going to get it vertically. She kind of had the option. Of course, gets the
There it
double
is, of
at the
course.
end.
But she has managed to close this gap a bit. She's still down by 16 viruses, but it's still very much a game.
Yeah, and that's as good a place to be as any. If you're going to be behind, I mean, you hope not to be behind, but if you're going to be that level with this many viruses left to clear, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, Dawn waiting on some blue help. I don't think he meant to drop those 2 pills like that, but okay. So once he gets the reds he needs, it's all going to drop down. He's going to get the horizontal he was looking for. It looked like an earlier misdrop complicated matters.
All over on Betty's side, she is waiting around for actually this pill right here gets that yellow red, gets a combo knocked out. Still about 15 viruses behind, and she's got quite a bit of garbage on her top line. Just things have not been falling her way, but you can see that she's getting these setups, moving things forward, and really is in a much better place than she was when I started talking.
Yeah, looking at Dawn's board, it looks like the plan of attack would potentially be take care of the red and clear up and get the horizontal for the yellows. It looks like instead he's going to just take everything vertically. 1 and 2, and he's out at 5:30 into level 13, which is a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, we could be looking at something to rival the previous game, depending on how Dawn does here. But Betty again, not far behind. As you can see, she is down to her bottom line. Yeah, those yellows in column 1 are the only real issue. Is going to get that knocked out. And yeah, she's in a real good place. Just needs a couple more yellows. She'll be out at a 6:05.
6:05, also a very good time for this point in the semifinal level bracket. She has a 25 virus chase down, unfortunately, but nice drop horizontal to get things moving here. Not a whole lot of access to blue, but blue is also the least common of the colors. Looks like she's thinking about a horizontal here for the yellow virus in column 1. And she's pretty much got it set up. Oh, grabs that other horizontal. Okay, she's thinking in multiple dimensions right now.
Yeah, but looking at what Dawn's got, I mean, it is nothing but paired up items, except for a couple of
Yeah.
yellows. Everything was just, it's been falling really well for him, but he also has had to make some complex setups to get everything to fall the right way. And he is just 1 yellow, 1 red away from being done with this board. It's been a really good set for him. And at a 7:17, Dawn is out and takes his first crown. And I believe that is close to a PB for him as well. In fact, it is by 5 seconds.
7:17, outstanding time by Dawn. Let's take a look at the hot times list.
It'll be on there.
Actually misses the top 20 by about 5 seconds.
Wow.
All right, so best of 5 is now a best of 3. Betty and Dawn getting ready to go. We got our readies. We got our countdown. 3, 2, 1. Pills.
Pew, pew, pew. Oh, and yeah, that was quite possibly the most obvious setup for Dawn.
Nice setup by Dawn there. Love the
Like this-
foresight. and how he set all that up, just chef's kiss.
Yeah, the second you see the first pill and the way his board is built, you knew exactly what the first thing was going to be. Uh, that's it's the whole board looks like that though, so it's going to be a really interesting one for him.
Yeah, nice efficient vertical clear there by Don. Lack of access to red right now. There's not much more he can do with red pill halves, but
Oh, check this out for Betty. Boom, big cross
tuck
clear
T.
there. That was
Love it.
beautiful.
Yeah, looking at Betty's board, I really like the ease of the setups here. Plenty of double clears available, and column one is not really that bad at all. Everything looks pretty straightforward and easy to get through.
Yeah, I mean, Dawn's entire board has been this way. And oh, check this out for Betty. She is gonna have to. Oh, that was perfect.
That was excellent. Yes, that's
That,
perfect. That's exactly what she needed to do.
yeah,
Now she
it
just
didn't
needs
make
to get
sense
one
until
more
it
yellow.
happened.
She's out at 126. That is smoking time for 10.
Like I was just about to say, she dropped it down to where that double blue wasn't going to be as helpful, and then she found the right place to do it, and I went, oh, yeah, I guess that makes the most sense. Oh, I love learning things on this channel.
Yep, gotta love it. Looking at these boards right now, Betty's got a 7 virus lead. Not a whole lot of access to yellow, which is a little bit concerning, but right now she's not getting much of a nice horizontal clear. Does a great job sniffing that one out. Now just trying to use what she has as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, finally just decides, the heck with it. I don't care about this yellow red anymore. Let's just use what we can. It's been a tough section.
Yeah, okay.
And
I like
there
this
we
setup
go.
because the yellow fragment on column 2 is just going to drop down onto that yellow virus once she gets the in between clear.
Yeah, this has been a real masterclass in cleanup for Betty. That could have been disastrous, and it's just not. She finds ways to make it not.
Just trying to set up more horizontals. Looks like she wants to horizontal this blue virus in column 5. And look at the drop T into a drop combo. That's just excellent.
Meanwhile, Dawn's got it down to just a 4 virus deficit, now down to 3, as his end game is just smooth as butter. Betty with a little more trouble with hers, but is going to be out at a 326. Dawn just 3 blues away. He's going to be out now to 332. That double blue about as lucky and as perfect as it could be for him. And we are in a game here, Pack, in level 12.
Yeah, Dawn has almost made up the entire deficit at this point after Betty got off to a blazing start in level 10. Interesting tuck play there. Just trying to make as much use out of those yellow halves as she possibly can. She would love to be able to dig out those reds in column 3 and turn it into a horizontal on those blues in columns 1 and 2. Kind of playing the long game here a little bit. All
Yeah, I
right,
mean, I
so
can
now,
see
okay.
that. I can
Now
see
she
that
needs
being a
yeah.
possibility, but oof.
Okay, I like that. Clean it out and finding the double blue she needed to trigger the combo. But now she's a couple of viruses behind. Nice job sniffing out the horizontal clear. Betty is really good with the horizontal plays.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Dawn with the lead now, and he's playing a long game here. He's just got to figure out how he's going to trigger this off. A red yellow would be ideal, but it is just not coming for him. And that's given Betty a chance to take the lead. Dawn just
Yep.
not getting anything in the way of red. There's
Here
the
it
red
is.
yellow we needed, and that's going to trigger the big combo.
Yeah. What's nice though is that Don managed to find some plays while he was waiting for that specific pill, So it's not like he wasn't doing anything else in the meantime. And so far he's been able to maintain this small lead, but Betty is right there. Betty would love to see a double red right now to quickly and efficiently take out those two viruses in columns 1 and 3. She can just tuck underneath for the red virus in column 8, but it looks like she's done waiting for the double red, and she's just going to take one out vertically, one out horizontally, and she's going to be out of 12 at about 540.
Yeah, now Dawn is a little stagnated here at the top of this
Oh,
board.
nice bridge building there, then to
There
get
he
the L
goes.
clear.
Yeah, that was taking some time, and it had me a little worried for him, but is able to get things moving, and he is holding on to an 8 virus lead. But Betty storming right back as we knew she would, and yeah, that's not going to be a safe lead, that's for sure.
Nice lightning bolt clear there to still has to deal with a chunk of drop time, but less so now that it was a lightning bolt clear. Nice drop combo here. Betty trying to find these quick, efficient plays. Nice horizontal sniffing out there to take out that red virus. Starting to work her way down this board and still only behind by a few viruses. Nice job sniffing out the horizontal. And she's got a lot of double clears on the bottom of her board, too. This could be a really strong finish.
Dawn was hamstrung for a minute there by lack of yellows, as yellow was pretty much his entire top line. It's pretty close to it now, and he needs those yellows to show up, or else things can get real rough for him. As Betty's got a much more diverse top line, although as I say that, I look over and it's real blue heavy, but it's the double blues.
But that's
And
half of the blue virus is gone with a single double blue pill. And this
and
is
look
going to
at this.
drop everything down. If she somehow gets another double blue, she can take out the horizontal as well, and it's pure vertical from there. Oh, look
And
at
there it
that!
is.
728. Betty takes game 3.
Wow. I mean, you hate that for Dawn, because that in a lot of ways was just really bad RNG showing up for him. But for Betty, that's a nearly 30-second PB in this level block to give her a
PB
2-1
strats.
lead. Yeah. I mean, you can't argue with PB strats. So yeah, 728. Her previous PB was 754, and that is going to wipe that all the way down. And you can see the just pure joy on her face. But now Dawn, is he's not going to take this lion down, and I wouldn't be shocked to see a PB from him coming up next.
Yep. So Dawn's back against the wall. He is facing elimination in this game 4. Betty trying to finish this one off and advance to the next round. Waiting where Adelito awaits.
Okay, Betty got her timer cleared. I was worried about that for a second. All right. And again, it's almost like the game is just asking Dawn, how do you want to start? Because we're going to give you the pills for it. That was a really nice start for him. Don't love the diversity on his board now, but he has found great ways around it. Betty, meanwhile, uh, what a versus
Immediately
player.
with the horizontal play coming very nice with the double drop combo there. And now it looks like she might be trying to sniff out a horizontal of that red virus in column 1. Looks like she's changed her mind.
Yeah, there was no real safe way to pull that off. So,
Oh, I love this though. She's got the horizontal set up again. Just excellent placement, excellent planning.
But look at where Dawn is. The bottom of his board just sailed through this one, and he may not have to worry about submitting that last level 10, because this one could match or
he
exceed it.
he might submit this one instead.
Heavens
It's
above.
the other one was a 113, so this one is a mere 115, alas.
Oh man.
He
Ow.
absolutely torched that level 10. So if
Nice.
you have a burning smell in your house, you know what it is.
That's from watching Dawn. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair. All right, Betty needs some red, and she needs it now because there's really little use for much of anything else to get her through this board. She is going to go ahead and set up just in case a yellow red shows up. In fact, is going to go ahead and force the issue now, and that is going to give her some trouble with this blue in column 7. And Don, not waiting around for her, is already halfway through his level 11. This is some time for Don.
Yeah, this is a 27 virus lead early. This is taking all these viruses to the woodshed right now. Dawn is taking no prisoners right now.
This is an appeal to the crows.
And I think the crows will indeed approve. Nice double blue to attack column 8 with. Another double blue. Let's see how he attacks the rest of this board. That right there is an obvious play. The doc is giving him some quick, obvious plays. Not giving him much in the way of blue right now, though, which he's going to need a few more in order to finish off this level. Probably not going to use that to clear. Okay, decides to clear that. There's a possibility that someone would not clear that just to avoid some drop time, but under 3 minutes out of 11.
Pretty insane. And Betty got caught listening to chat, so she's she knows about where she is. There's nothing wrong with listening to chat. I just I'm just calling it that. As she's got some good plays. It's just, I mean, what do you do when your opponent is doing what she just did the last game, and that's destroying everything? And the
Let's see
answer is
how
there's just
Dawn
not
attack.
much you
Oh,
can.
perfect double yellow. Dawn does not have a whole lot of access to yellow. I like that clear in column 5, though, to get more access to yellow and keep his color diversity up to point.
Meanwhile, Betty having to run some underclears and horizontals because she had set up for this blue horizontal that she's building now, and goes ahead and bridges it up. She's out of 356, but it was
Sub 4 is a pretty solid time for levels 10 and 11.
Oh yeah,
She's just up against the hammer of Dawn right now. And this is going to be a nice drop into a horizontal for Dawn. And look at this, the perfect 2 pills into another pair of horizontal clears.
can't script it like that. So a double blue for Betty would be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, double blue would be phenomenal, but it's also very difficult to rely on.
Yeah,
Just goes
she's
ahead
just
and
gonna
takes
take
the
that.
L clear, I should say.
Oh, speaking of double blues,
There's the double blue.
that actually worked out pretty well for her. She didn't end up with too much damage, and yeah, I mean, it's not a bad board, but Don already into his 13, and this could be a hot time. I'd say
Yeah,
it almost certainly will be,
yeah.
unless the
I
game
believe
just really messes with him.
712 is the benchmark for a hot time in this level block. Right now, he does not have much access to yellow, but he's really not getting much in the way of yellow in the first place. So now he's got access to yellow on the left-hand side of his board for a moment. That's going to play out nicely for Dawn as he looks for some blue to take out this chunk of yellow. Blue viruses in the middle of his board. Still not getting what he's looking for. Getting really tired of waiting for the perfect pill. Is just going to take whatever he can get.
Betty had some waiting to do herself. She's out at a 554, which again, we have to keep saying this is a good time. It's just, it's not going to be the best time in this game at the rate things are going.
Yeah, right
And
now,
oof,
Dawn is
right.
just scavenging for blues wherever he can because he's just not getting much of any of them at all. finally gets a couple there to knock out some more blue viruses in the middle of his board. And now he is going to start lacking access to blue, so it'll be interesting to see how he attacks the rest of this level 13.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Betty's side, she's not getting reds. And there's the red she needed. She had been kind of waiting around for this setup, and it just took forever to get there. Really good setup showing up here. She could potentially a blue yellow. Well, the blue yellow showed, but it wasn't time. So she wasn't able to get the combo. But again, just beautiful combos. But a 7-11 from Dawn. And that's what, another PB for him, I believe.
That is.
Oh, yeah.
That is a PB, a Slurpee, and a hot time.
Grief.
That will be slotted right into 20th place, knocking Influx's 712 off the list.
I think after what Influx got to do in the last game, he's not going to complain too much about that.
No.
But, yep, time for the crows to get fed. Don, of course, the originator of that phrase, accidentally. But, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setup. These two back and forth. Something amazing is about to happen. I can tell already. Three, two, one, and pills.
We are off for game 5 between Don Venier and Betty B Plays G's, the 6th seed and the 2nd seed, duking it out, determining who gets to go to the finals to face Adelito. And a bit of a floaty board for Don early on here. There's not necessarily a huge void between virus sets, but there's a bunch of funny little shapes in between them. It looks like Betty's virus board is packed a little tighter, and there's a lot of horizontal opportunities for Betty if she can get to them. And Betty and horizontal clears go together like peanut butter and jelly.
What there's not for Betty, though, is a lot of access to yellow. So right now she's having to use yellow pill halves as, as garbage, as strategic garbage. And so far, it's working out for her as she's only 2 viruses behind. Dawn, though, getting some setups going, and actually Betty now with the lead. So it's really back and forth with these two. Let's see if Betty's going to set up. Okay. Yellow, blue, exactly what she wants to see for this setup. And now she's in a really good place for her end game. Dawn going to be in a good place as soon as he sees some blue, I think.
Specifically a blue-red, he can tackle the left-hand side of his board in one fell swoop, but he still does have that blue staircase of viruses from columns 2 to 5 to deal with. Betty, on the other hand, is only a few viruses away from finishing off this 10.
And she's tired of waiting on yellow, so it is going to be potentially an issue. Actually, nope, that's going to work out for her. Dawn out at like a 153, but Betty's now forcing herself to be dependent on a red blue. Gets it out at a 155, so really only about a 2-second difference. I know they're far further apart on your screen, but Betty did start quite a bit later than Dawn, so that's the way we time it, and you can't change it, so deal with it.
Yeah, Betty, lack of access to yellow viruses a bit early here. A blue-red would be excellent right now to drop into an L clear into another drop combo, and there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quick clears there. And now a double blue would be excellent. She doesn't need a double blue. Takes the quick drop combo there. She'd love to horizontal these blue viruses, but cutting out column 5 is going to complicate matters. Here we
There it
go.
is. Yeah, Takes the strategic garbage, kind of keeps yourself out of trouble. But Dawn with a 9 virus lead right now, and he has been just smoking through this level 11. And yeah, just a dozen viruses left for him. Not sure about that red yellow. Pretty sure that was a misdrop, so he's going to have to take a little bit of time to get through that.
There was a nice lightning log from Betty earlier, and she doesn't want to clear out this virus in column 6 just yet. Wants to make sure that she's not dropping any garbage on top of the red virus in column 5 so that she can have her setup of the okay. Looks like she gave herself some options there, and looks like at about 350, Dawn is out of 11, and that has passed now. So Betty is not far behind. Looks like 356, 6-second difference between the players right now in this deciding game 5.
Yeah, they're keeping it real close for us. It's going to be a photo finish. I feel like you feel it in your bones the way these two have been playing that it can't be any way but very, very close. So as we see, Dawn with a 3 virus lead, and
And I like the setup
holding
right here
strong.
from Don. He's already got the drop L set up, and now all he needs to do is just trigger it whenever he wants to. Looks like he's going to trigger the other horizontal on the other side. He gave himself a couple nice options there. Right now he's maintaining an 8 virus lead on Betty, who could really use some blue right now.
Blue's becoming an issue for her, and really, she'll take anything.
Yep.
At this point, blue red would have been ideal, but she was happy to literally take any blue. And she's actually got some plans herself. A couple of blues can show up for her, then she will have a big combo set up. But it's just got to happen. And
Yeah,
right now,
this double red rush is not going to help matters because there's no blue at the end of that one either. It looks like she's going to take this big drop combo right here. She's got a couple of blue horizontals set up as well if she can just get some blue pills.
yep. And it's an interesting take here. Okay, there she goes.
Okay, I
I
like
wasn't sure
this
what the
because
play
then she
was.
can take one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this setup too. She's got the nice combo cascade coming right here.
Yeah,
And
and she
she's
wants a double blue. She wants a double blue
yeah.
so bad.
But now she doesn't need it though, but there
But
it
he
is.
wants it
She's got it.
anyway.
Bam. I like that she attacked column 5 with that blue yellow, and now she's going to be out at a 604.
And I didn't catch Dawn's time. That may actually be the lead. It is very, very close. I can't even tell at this point. It's so close. We're going to have to go based on whatever time they've got without any knowledge of how quickly they are going, because I think it may be within the time difference between the two start times. It is that close.
Betty's got a nice setup if she can just get this horizontal off into the drop tee. Her timer is 6 or 7 seconds off, and she's behind by about 10 viruses. So she's got a little bit of ground to make up after kind of a rough start to 13. It hasn't really been super kind to her, but so far she's done a great job in making the best of it. Let's see what she does with this right here. Gets the drop horizontal. She had quite a few options on that pill.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dawn needs a lot of red and yellow. The blue access is there, but it's
I
just really limited.
I think Betty got thrown off because she expected a clear in column 4 and then that red blue over in columns 1 and 2. I don't think that's what she wanted, but still chugging along. She's only down by 5 viruses right now, so the lead is shrinking right now for Dawn.
Oh, and what a clear from Betty. That drop combo was insane. Yeah, Dawn's still holding on and keeping himself in a good position. Again, we're not going to really know who's going to win this until we see both times because Dawn, as you said, working about a 6-second disadvantage with the clock based on when they started. Gonna get this double red rush, and there's, like you said earlier, no blue at the end of that. Oh, and it is a long one too. The crows want what the crows want, and what they want is chaos.
Yes, I mean I'm all for chaos. I love chaos in all things personally. But right now, the one thing that's kind of hamstrung Betty in this level is the left hand side of her board after that misdrop. But she's only down by 5 viruses. But Dawn is just about finished. He just needs one more red at this point, and here it comes. He's going to be out at an 8:45. Does Betty have it?
I
3,
think she does, but we'll
44,
see.
45. It's unfortunately it's not going to happen. And
All right.
I think even without that misdrop, she wouldn't have quite had it. But what an effort by Betty fighting through that misdrop in columns 1 and 2 and nearly pulling it off.
Yeah, that was just altogether a tough level 13 for Betty. But that does not diminish the amount of amazing work that Dawn has done. These two really pushing it back and forth, giving us the best that we've seen in a while. We're going to see Dawn play Adelito here in just a couple of minutes. So stick around. This is the DRMC. Hey, it's that tournament again. Welcome to the DRMC. It is time for our finals. I am Ook, and I got Savage Octagon with me. And Savage, have we ever seen this match before?
You know, I was saying in the booth before, this seems familiar, and we've seen this before quite a bit. The last three meetings between these players were finals, but they've played like 8 times before.
Is it 8? Is it 9? It is 8 times before. Yeah, that's right. You're looking at my notes. I'm not. Yeah, the most recent time these two faced each other was in our championship last year. When Adelito took out Dawn, I didn't check to see what the score was. 3-0 in a finals match. Uh, it's been 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. Dawn did win against Adelito in August of 2025 to take one of his first, if not his first,
His
championship.
first,
It was the second.
yeah.
Okay. He did take the one in April. That's right, against Betty, who he just played earlier. So Don just getting the memory of players he has played in finals, I guess. He didn't play me in the finals. I didn't make the finals against him.
Well, these two players are going to be playing levels 14 through 17. And that represents some of the highest up the board can get, the most dense, the most packed. We're going to be seeing tons of combos from these players. They are both ready to go. So we're going to get our countdown. I think I heard you and Packy jockeying my air horn style, but whatever. I'm ready
was just
for it.
me. That's fine. You got all the
You can have it
opportunity
for
right now.
free.
Go for
Beep, beep,
it.
beep. Pills. Let's go.
All right, and a gross starting pill for Dawn. But you know, at this point in the level, it's not like when you're on level 6 where a terrible first pill can just really derail you. You know, you keep going. It's not that big a deal. But man, really interesting setup from Adelito. I'm not sure about that. What he's got sitting on column 7 and 8, but I am fully prepared to eat my words. So we're gonna see what happens. Oh, never mind. I see what the plan is. Yep, there's my words. They taste funny.
They taste funky. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of yellow here at the top of Adelito's board, and you know that plan was kind of funky at the top, but of course, just like Adelito doing the things he normally does, he was breaking through, making moves, seeing different layers on the board. But what we see here is we see Dawn actually has a much lower board at the moment. Nothing up top, everything very even. You love to see it because you love to see the potential for less drop time. And, you know, other than that column 2 with the red, everything's just so clean and even for Dawn.
Yeah, and it is still a 3 virus lead for Adelito though. As well, I say that it starts evaporating. Dawn
Yep.
finding his way through, but right now, yeah, they're getting to neck and neck. If we're not careful, they're gonna be neck and neck, and I don't want to have to say neck and neck, so I don't want that to happen. But
Yeah, it is so hard to
it's
call. It's so
one
hard to
day.
call numbers in this situation. Like we should just avoid it. Now, oh my gosh, a double blue would be great for Dawn, but there's so many possibilities. Don't miss this because one blue and this is all going to fall out for Dawn. Boom, into a short stack out at a 157. So very nicely done. Adelito just needs this one red out at a 202. So this is a great start for both of them in this level block.
And I'll just correct you real quick because you got the players backwards. I know we're not used to seeing Adelito over
Oh
on
my
the right.
gosh, are you serious? I've been totally doing that the whole freaking time. We were talking about that. My B.
It's okay. Just don't want to confuse everyone. But yeah, it's very rare to see Adelito on the left-hand side because
I
we usually
know.
put the player with the higher seed on the left. But yeah, it happens. Regardless,
Hi,
it's very
YouTube.
tight match. So very tight match. So it's really hard to fault you for that one either. But yeah, it's now a that lead just evaporated. I was about to call what the lead was, and it just immediately went away. So I these two, what are you gonna do?
Right. Now, Dawn getting a nice little spread of red yellow just to open up that board. Look at this from Dawn. A drop T looks so nice and juicy. And look at that. There's really good opportunities for stuff to happen with that yellow at the bottom of the board. Notice almost working on sort of a square situation. And there it goes. It drops down. And yeah, things looking really good for Dawn as long as the yellows show up. And by yellows, I mean red. Wow. It hasn't even been a long day for me.
I'm sorry. Colors are hard. Numbers are hard.
Colors are
players
hard, numbers are hard. Oh
Names aren't that
boy.
easy either. All right. So a double red would make Adelito's day. He is going to find a way through it, though, as this is going to be the right setup for that. And this yellow blue, exactly what he wants to see. Adelito going to be out at a 356. Dawn, though, with a red yellow. Oh,
Any
never mind,
red
just
at
a red.
all is gonna do it. 404 for Dawn. Time not found.
There's the joke.
Yeah. Gotta make it. Ooh, look at the top line there for Adelito. So much red and blue.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No,
He plays
much more
on high.
diversity. Yeah, much more diversity on Dawn's board at the moment. And then as I say it, well, it kind of evaporates. He's making his way through it. But this double red, excellent for him to just sweep some viruses off the board and get a nice even top line going.
We got a tie ball game here, partner, because it was 52-52 when I said that. It is no longer a tie ball game, but we are very close to it because these guys just knocking them down. Setting them up, knocking them down is just the name of the game for them. And it'll be interesting to see what the plan is with Adelito. A red-yellow would be ideal for him, but we know he's going to wait for it because there it is. I was going to say, we know he's not necessarily going to wait for it. He'll just make something else happen, but he did, and it worked because it did.
Ooh, Dawn getting really fancy with their moves on moves is going to drop down into a cross, into a short stack. There it goes. Wow, so much falling off of that board. It took a while, but you know, when these players at this top level, they have a lot of pill halves on the board and they're behind a couple viruses, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're setting up a wildly huge combo like that one, and it is just so close right now. Now, don't love what's going on for Adelito, and of course, then as I say that, gets a fat log. Never mind.
Yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me in the last call. You know, you look over and then all of a sudden it all makes sense. Speaking of things making sense, that was a great combo there.
Yes.
Adelito now just needing, one of Packy's famous handfuls of reds, or fistfuls of red, I believe is what he would say. And there's a couple of them. Dawn not too far from being in the same boat, though, as he just needs a little of this, little of that.
It's just that the shape is
For the reds.
not ideal because of the, it needs drop time. So Adelito out first at a 632, but now Dawn is going to be out with this double red. Awesome, 639. Still very, very close, but wow, these two are at the top of the board. The medium speed for Dawn gives him a little bit more maneuverability. Oh, but he starts over again, and I think that's a good move because of the misflip that he did right at the top of the board. You saw he made that split-second decision. I don't like that first move that I made, basically, and I'm done. I'm going to start over. And we have seen top outs and, redos in the face of a first mistake make wins, honestly.
Yeah, that has happened in this tournament, in this specific one.
Yeah.
Ooh, Adelito having to work his way through this one. He wants, I don't know what he wants. I'm having trouble seeing. Oh, that's I've been having trouble seeing what exactly he was waiting for. But he is now 4 viruses behind, as Dawn not having to wait around for the right pills to show up. Not something we usually see from Adelito, so you got to imagine there's a little bit more in the tank. But right now it is the lead showing up for Dawn.
Yeah, but I mean, it all comes down to blue. Luckily, ripping that blue, yellow off the top of the board, really, really helpful. And now Dawn is down to having a little bit of red access. Didn't leave himself open for the horizontal there, but when you have such a lack of diversity, I mean, really, you are just looking to clear out the blue as efficiently as possible, so it's not that much of a problem. But yeah, that that red horizontal is so tempting there, and it looks like Dawn is going to go for it. Oh, this is so close. How is this so close right now, Ook?
I don't know. I don't know because I've been watching Adelito's board and thinking
Oh, that was
he's not doing great, but then I look over and it's still pretty well tied. So, I mean, it's not great is by Adelito's standards,
right,
which are
exactly
much
right.
higher than my own. But you look at it and you go, I don't like where this is going, and
But this is
yet
going to be good.
yeah,
Yeah, that was nice.
yeah. I mean, he's still playing well. It's just you
It's
think
tied.
you're used to when Adelito is one of the players that the speed at which Adelito is playing ends up with a loss because it's usually his opponent. But
Well, look at
yeah,
this.
he has got the win here because that's a
Yeah.
915 and he is out.
I was trying to tell you it was going to happen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this drop for Dawn, I mean, it was so, against all odds. I mean, had to start that level over again, right? And that could rattle somebody. And there could be the idea that maybe the previous board they had was better. But that was fantastic play from both players. We're in for a banger of a final.
Oh yeah, definitely. So target time for hot times are sub 9s here. Handful of players have those. Most of those players are Adelito. But here we go. It's 3, 2, 1 pills. They're going. Let's just do this.
Yeah, they are very fast readiers. And, I think that's understandable. Playing in the finals is such a marathon. You kind of just like want to get it done. You kind of want to get it over with. Just keep moving forward while you have that momentum.
Yeah, it is a slog. You're absolutely right. As you well know, as I know, it can be a lot. But gonna be a nice clear there from Adelito. And
Ooh,
I can love and hate this board at the same time, I think, because it's so well set up if the pills show. If the pills
mhm.
don't show, this is gonna be a horrendous level.
Yeah, absolutely. That double red working really well. Dawn's working through some good plans. And yeah, this is a very nice, straightforward board for Dawn. I think the key is make the moves that aren't going to force sort of a red dependency as you come down. Although, like, Dawn might not have a choice there. But perfect move. I think that bracket clear with the red yellow was the right way to go. And now he's got a short stack. So, there's only a 4 virus deficit here. And everything's pretty free and clear to, make different kinds of plans. Look at this drop horizontal into a vertical. Very nicely done. Yeah, this is looking good for Dawn. Adelito just needs a lot of red.
Yeah, yeah, and it's been blocks of color for Adelito, pretty much the whole way here. Okay, yeah, I like the setup. Watch this. It's going to be, oh, okay, yeah, any red here on the left, and that's going to clear him out. 156 is his time. That was perfectly set up to finish the end game there. And Don just needs 4 reds to join him.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
Yeah, and
211.
yeah, he had that set up for a very efficient end game, and it's still, you know, it's still super super close here, especially when you have the top of these boards being so congested. Sometimes the pills come so that you're able to rip a huge combo off the board, and sometimes you're not. Looks like Dawn's got a very even board now and has a great horizontal possibility which he takes, and another one right below it which could have some good setups with the yellow blues on top. So there we go. He gets it. And yeah, he's just bringing that board down garbage free.
Yeah, that's not what we're able to say about Adelito's board, as he is having to make strategic garbage a thing here with his yellows. He just doesn't have a lot of access to yellow on the top of his board. And really, he just needs reds, and he needs just a bunch of that to happen. He's now 9 viruses behind, as you know, this board has not been kind to him. And that Spire on column 3 also not what you want to see. It's going to mean drop time if he can't figure it out as some horizontals. Just overall, a real tough level 15 for Adelito, and Dawn just playing a really, really solid level here.
Yeah, he's ending up being a little bit inspired now. Everything was really inspired, and now he is inspired. Woo!
Like,
Oh my gosh.
you went for
Wow.
it.
Okay, I went for it hard. But yeah, I do think that the bottom of this board leaves itself open for some good moves for Dawn. It does look a little bit like he could have locked himself into, I thought maybe a double horizontal dependency, but I think it's okay. You just have to make sure not to get greedy and try with the, you know, the double red there. If he had gotten it, would have wrecked the horizontal, but then he had vertical plans, so it didn't even matter. Was looking at some tunnel vision. Got to get the red coming through for Dawn, and he can do an undertuck in 2, clear it out in 1. Yeah, this is going really well for him.
And I'm trying to see what Adelito's preferred plays are going to be. He's had this column 6 with the blues. Okay, he just didn't want to have to
Ooh.
drop those down. I'm not sure about that decision, just because it still made so much drop time. He's out of 441, but it seemed like a tough board for him.
Yeah, I mean, tough being a relative term, but I think so. I think that's a fair assessment.
Meanwhile, Dawn here at the top of this board doesn't have a lot of blue access, but he is finding ways to use what he gets. I'd say a similar story for Adelito, but he's making plans. Doing his
he's
thing.
making plans. There we go. That double yellow coming through. Yeah, you could see him kind of maneuvering to try to figure out the right way to take out that horizontal. So you could see the gears turning a little bit. Sometimes you can't for Adelito because everything's going so quickly, but you could see like, ooh, maybe XYZ thing is competing with something else that I have. But now just the blue red needs to show up momentarily. That would be good for Adelito, please and thank you. And ooh, beautiful combo for Dawn. Did you see how much just came off of the board?
Oh, that's we pay him for. For the record, we don't pay any of our players. I mean, unless they win, and they sometimes there's a stipend for. I don't even know. I don't get the prizes, so I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, it's just good play, just really good solid play from both players here, and
Yeah, this
it's
is so
still
clean
just a
from
5-hour
Dawn.
game.
Yeah. You see Dawn with that bracket play, cleared out some garbage, but I mean, just like this board for Dawn right now, so clean. Look at this, and the horizontal is opening up. I think he could set up for a fat log if he wanted, but no, he's going to drop into a perfect horizontal opportunity, and there it goes. Boom, boom, out at a 652, and Dawn has 10 viruses on Adelito right now, and that is some great time to make some moves. Look at that beautiful drop for Adelito. He's got a real smooth endgame plan, but still, Dawn's got a little time to play.
Yeah, and we saw 2 quick resets from Dawn there. He just wasn't liking his 17s. I'm surprised he kept this one. This is not a great looking top of the board, but we'll just see. We'll see what he does as Adelito gets a good start to this board.
Yeah, definitely going for a red horizontal there. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of high up, but he's got that first level cleared out, does Adelito, and has a red horizontal opportunity. Fortunately, I was gonna say row 3 being or column 3 being horizontal, not ideal, but then he gets the double red, so that's always nice.
I mean, you get a nice double, everything works out. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Yep.
It's 3 in the morning. That's your life. I don't know what time it is in Turkey, but it's early. I know that.
Ooh, hell yeah, there for Dawn. Very nicely done. And dropping down blue onto the bottom level of the board, that's really, really smart because he's going to need it down there eventually. So he wants to make sure that whatever plans he has right now are not going to block that possibility at the end of the board. And so Dawn's lead has opened up more. Now has like a 17 virus lead where it was only about 10 before. So this is a really, really good moves from Dawn and also just showing his vision down the rest of the board.
Right. Yeah, and this setup from Adelito. This
Mm-hmm.
It didn't break it. It didn't break it. You worry about stuff like that when you see that much getting ready to come off the board. Um, phew, that could have been so much happening. But yeah, we're down to just a couple of viruses left, and looks like it's gonna be Dawn out at a 924. So GG's.
Very nicely done to Dawn. Oh, and a drop fat log for Adelito Timber. But he sees the writing on the wall. He is going to top out, and I'm sure he's going to ready in just like one moment. As soon as he gets the GGs out,
Right.
these two are going to be readying up again.
All right. So we got our readies in the chat. And we're going to be ready to count these guys in here in just a moment. It's 3, 2, 1, and pills. All right. Good start of the boards here for both players. I really like the diversity that we're seeing for both of them, but it doesn't last too awful long. We've got... oh, actually, no. I like what Dawn's got set up here. A double red would be ideal.
And Adelito's got that double blue coming through. Clutch for him. Really very little use for yellow. So you see that he's got the 3 yellows there. Using them for garbage. Now it is just a red-blue situation. So, any yellows are really just being used for drill clears at the moment, which is slow. But it just means that, okay, if he's using the yellows for that, then, they're just going to be little garbage later, but not too much. Nice drop from Dawn there.
Yeah, this is a really nice board, honestly, for Dawn. I like the way this end game is looking for him. And we'll see if the RNG continues to hold up. But for Adelito, I mean, he's still keeping things very close. And yeah, this is going to be a close one coming out of this first level.
Mm-hmm. Adelito's put himself in a little bit better of a position because of how flat that top line is. Dawn's going to be in a situation with 1 and 2 where he's basically got no choice but to drop things down vertically. And luckily that double blue coming in really well for him for that. But yeah, it takes a little bit of time. And now he's got to set up that yellow horizontal, build a platform, which is just a slightly slower, but looks like actually it does have the advantage over Adelito. Just one more pill and it comes through. But Dawn might have, in other circumstances, that might not have worked out. But these two so close together.
Yep. And getting just staying really close. And I think I might see the plan for Adelito there. But unfortunately, he needs some blues to make the other part of the strat work. And I think he saw that and is just going ahead and clearing through this way. A red yellow would be ideal for him. Say we're going to see just how long he's willing to wait for it. There it is. And again, a double red would be the thing he would want, and
Oh,
not able to get it under. But actually, it
oh,
doesn't matter too much as he had another red already on the other side. But oh,
oh.
that's tough. That's going to be a
Okay.
tough one,
Yeah, he
and
oh,
he's going to
oh.
top out.
Yeah, wow. That's uncharacteristic. But when you're playing on high, you got to get the quick taps over, but also just like it feels so slow when you have to do that. It just feels glacial when you're maneuvering. So he just has to start over, shake it off. And now look, he's already building great stuff at the top of this board. Look at the drop there and needs to get some yellow going to preserve the diversity and open up those lower layers. But he's back in business. But, Dawn's got a huge lead now.
And it's hard to remember this when they're up that high on the board. But this is just level 15. And we
Yeah.
still got 2 more levels after this one, so a lot can still happen there. We've certainly seen crazier things than a early top out that actually led to something, an actual win for the player. But really good end game here for Dawn.
Yeah, we had an offset fat log. He had a good micro adjustment to make sure that the next play is going to be horizontal on the yellow. Just needs one more yellow to be out at a 4-15 and about a 30 virus lead for Dawn. But, Adelito's got really great placement in this level 15. Look at the drop there. And as soon as yellow comes through, going to be back in business. But look at the doubles on the bottom of that board. Juicy.
Yeah, I mean everything's kind of blocked up there, and that's in a good way. We don't usually talk about things being blocked in a good way, but yeah, everything is set up in blocks for Adelito, and that's going to be nice for him. Meanwhile, Dawn at the start of this level 16, really nice play, but now no access to blue. So we're going to see how long that remains an issue. It doesn't look like it's going to be too long, though, as he is getting his way down the board. And yeah, it's a combo there that's going to use up every blue that he's gotten so far.
Good thing the red yellows are coming in for Dawn right now. That's key.
And we are going to have to run the timer for Adelito manually if it is close, as it has reset. But he's just going to keep playing. That is what we tell our players to do. We will figure it out if it is a close match.
Yeah, just that's always a thing. Just keep playing. Like, just keep swimming. You got this. It's about a 30 virus lead still for Dawn. And, red needs to come through to work on that blue horizontal that he's got going in row 3. And just red horizontals could be the name of the game going down, but it's a little bit tough because there's a competing blue horizontal in row 2. So the doubles are not the easiest doubles to work with right now, but I think Dawn is working on that plan and has got that opening up. So, but Adelito doing a really good job of coming back. And as you said, there's so many viruses, so many pills that happen in this final level block that deficits can be made up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And yeah, that is not a misdrop there from Adelito. And it looks it, but there we go. He gets that fat log out of the way, and it's just it looks like magic when you're learning the game, watching somebody who can just find stuff like that. It's one of the deficits of actually learning how players do this is it takes away some of the wonder, I think. You spend all this time thinking they're just geniuses, and then you see how it's done. You're like, yeah, they're still geniuses. It's just I know at least how it's done now.
I can see it. Doesn't mean I could do it. But now Adelito is in level 17. And, what was about a 30 virus deficit has now just become like it was 12 a second ago. So we really have a barn burner. Lots of stuff could happen in this if the rest of the match so far has been any indication. Dawn had a good start to this board, but it's got to be a red-blue coming through in order to help him. That did a great job of opening up the next layer. So things looking good for Dawn at the moment, but yeah, red needs to keep coming through, and he's got to be as strategic with it, as efficient with it as possible.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Adelito's plans are now, which is, I sound like a broken record when I say that, but it's been a tough top of the board. I'm guessing he just hasn't seen much of anything in the way of reds, because you feel like, he would find something. And right now, it's just been a really tough board for him. But that's going to be a really nice play. And yeah, it's still a 10 virus lead. I mean, he's still only backed by 10 viruses after all that's happened in this level. But
Now,
it's getting tough.
Adelito, ooh, it's kind of yucky and it kind of isn't. You see Adelito's column 7 and it looks gross, but there a bunch of stuff cleans out, and I think there's a world in which some magic could happen and a horizontal happened and everything was a cascade from there. It's not that world, but still Adelito managed to clean it up pretty well. I just think it's a little too late here, because Dawn is just basically done, and as long as these reds come through, Dawn's gonna have a plan for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go ahead and set that up. Now he just needs 2 reds. He's going to be out at a 918. So GG's to Dawn. That is, nowhere near his PB. I had to check.
I know. I was just checking too, and I was like, it doesn't feel like it. But it feels so commonplace now for some of these players to just keep PBing, even though it doesn't seem like it should be. So we're just always checking it out.
No worries about the timer. That is just the way things go sometimes. But we're ready to reset it, and Adelito going to try to call the crows much as Dawn did in that last one.
That was amazing. Wow. Both of the semis matches were fantastic. I just love that now when we see semis, I mean, we're treated to the same caliber show that we see in the finals. I mean, it's just all the way down now. The bracket is really on fire.
Yeah. Right. Players are ready to back up. And we are good to go for crown number 4.
And 3, 2, 1, pills. Bear.
All right. Immediate great setups for Adelito there. And I like the play. Oh, it's just chef's kiss. The pre-planning, the seeing, you know what, I've got this and I could play that, but if I do this other thing, then it's going to work out much more cleanly and I'm going to be an extra step ahead of the game. I don't know how you plan that quickly ahead in this game. The rest of life, yes, not in this game.
Well, Dawn was really trying to plan quickly, and just RNG had other plans. He was really trying to work on these blues horizontally on the top row, and it just was not showing up at the right time, and so he'd have to bail, and then he would have to come back in. So now he got those blues horizontally off the board, and this is going down. It's not a big deficit right now, and especially, well, that was a beautiful tee from Adelito. I was like, there's a lot of weird red on there, but wow.
Yeah, all my questions disappeared very quickly on that play. But this is a really nice bottom of the board for Dawn. And, if there is ever a section to make up time on, it's this bottom of this board, because it is very well set up for doubles. You get just a real nice pill set, and then all of a sudden everything's just going to melt right away. So we're going to see if he can find those plays. But right now it is just a 1 virus deficit, as Dawn holding the pace here
Mm-hmm.
with Adelito.
And I think part of it is due to the lack of yellow that Adelito has received. He was really holding out for a while to get the T there on the bottom, and this double yellow, perfect for that, finally gets it. But it was a waiting game at that point, and it's still going to be a little bit. But I think Adelito is going to be finding those double horizontals with the blue there, very nicely done. But Dawn already at a level 15.
Hmm. And yeah, Adelito going to be joining him very shortly. Don with nothing to write home about this board. It's got a little bit of a right slant to it, but overall, it's working out pretty nicely for him. And honestly, I wasn't paying attention the first couple of pills. That might have just been the way he solved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was looking pretty good from the beginning, and like, you could be worried about there was a blue up high on the left, and just stuff showed up for it so that it didn't become a massive problem. It didn't become really slow. And look at that beautiful tee from Dawn into a drop for the yellow and just solving it garbage free. Gotta love it. But this is getting super close still. I think Adelito's building up, probably going to build a bridge to those double blues at the top. We shall see about that. But of course, lots of yellow coming through for Adelito. Not a giant fan of that.
Watch what happens though. It's going to be a blue or a red blue is going to come down, and the magic is
Mm.
going to happen. There it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you just have to be watching it. And there's a swim that's I love when the frame rate of what their capture is just slow enough that the swims look automatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just insane. Pretty sure that yellow blue though was a mistuck there on
Mm-hmm.
Adelito's side, so it's going to slow him down just a touch, not too awful much, but that's going to give Don a chance to kind of solidify this lead as he is sitting on an 9 virus lead.
Yeah, I'm curious about the plan here. Yeah, okay. Adelito taking the double blue and using it to both clear out a little bit of garbage and keep those plans going for the horizontal at the bottom. Meanwhile, Don just needs this red, and he's out at a 430. Adelito not too far behind, especially with this blue. Red is going to drop and leave the horizontal just one portion away, and he's out at about a 441.
Yeah, 11-second difference, and really quick, good play there from Don. But he's staring down the barrel at a lot of red on the top of his board. I mean, there's that swath of blue on the right, but it's all blue. There's not a lot of combinations. It's really this red then yellow over on that left hand side. So that's going to slow him down a touch, but not too much. But it is enough to get Adelito caught back up as he is looking at it's now 50-50. I mean, these two are tied up.
Hmm.
Really.
And what's going on here at the top of Adelito's board? Is he
I
gonna
believe it
clear
was a
out that?
misdrop, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't swear to it.
Okay. Good. He's cleared out there. Not too much trouble, but oof, yellow needs to
Oh,
come
that's fine.
through. Oh my
He's got
gosh. Woo! He had to maneuver that one far around, but look at this. Amazing
Mhm.
from Adelito, just taking so much of that off the board. Whew. All right. Turning peril upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying out his new crow call, and so far I think it may be working out for him. As it is, well, now I mean it's Don got a nice big clear himself and got it pretty well tied back up, but there's another massive clear from Adelito. These two are just trading back and forth with these big like hero plays, the really massive, gonna knock everything down all at once sort of plays. And I think that's an efficient way to like reduce the clear animations. I don't know that that's the overall goal, but it if so, it's really working out for both of them.
Hmm. That column 8 it could be a little bit slow there for Adelito. It kind of depends on the order things show up. Looks like maybe he's going to be trying to de-sandwich, although, I'm not sure. But currently, Don's got the very straightforward path out of 16. And there we go, the red, yellow, perfect. He's out at a 707. But Adelito definitely looks like he's going to try to go horizontally to take that yellow out in between, I think. But it's just not showing up the way he wants. He drops it. And yeah, he's got to make another plan with that blue. Now things are dropping down for Adelito, but definitely slower because he has to do this setup with the reds.
Yeah. Not what he wanted, but meanwhile, we see Don with a really weird looking 17. I mean, the shape of this board, I got to start looking at the boards quicker because I have no idea how a board ends up looking like that.
Yeah. I mean, gotta think that just wasn't getting a bunch of blue at the top and just now finally taking that down. It took some drop time, but yeah, that was the only way to work on that. And now Don's pretty much, set. The top right is a little bit higher, and column 8 does sort of request that there be a vertical solve to this, and then we go and take a bunch of drop time. But definitely in a good spot, about 17 viruses ahead of Adelito. And Adelito's got that piece of stray garbage there on column 3 that could be a little bit of a problem because yellow is necessary at the moment.
Yeah, he just goes ahead and finds a way through it. But now he really wants, well, he wanted the double red a little earlier so that he could make it into a combo. But it didn't end up being an issue as he was able to find a way through that. But it's becoming very moot as Don is very close to the end of this board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, column 8 is going to be slower, and end game there's a possibility that he's just going to wait, he's going to take care of everything else and then sort of build up platforms to get there. So it's going to be a tiny bit slow, but I don't think slow enough that Don's going to be in true danger. Look at him using that blue, and the yellow's dropping down onto that first row, so he's definitely setting up for horizontals. Although the possibility for the horizontal, the red at the bottom, is gone now, but Don leading by 8.
Yeah, but I mean, these setups from Adelito are real good. He's not going to take it lying down, that's for sure. And this could have been so much different. Still could, actually. I mean, this is coming down to the wire.
Nah. Ooh.
There it is, 10:01, and it is going to be Don with the win, Don with the championship here by 7 seconds. So GG's to both players, and congratulations to Don on winning now his 4th championship.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, what a fantastic Sunday! I mean, they're all fantastic with that one. We got treated to a lot of great Dr. Mario. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. And Ook, it's a really big week for the DRMC, right?
Absolutely. Don't forget, we've got monthly checkup coming up this Tuesday night. The voice you'll hear on that one will be our good friend Leviticus. That is an online-only versus tournament. You can still sign up. You need to go to our Discord to do so. Thank you, Dave, for that. Also, this Saturday, we've got our silver bracket. Sunday will be in Milwaukee. There's still, the last I checked, 2 slots left for the Weird Virus Buster season. Get your butt to the Discord and go find stuff to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Just follow everything. There's lots of great stuff happening. And also, there's room for you to carve out your own niche as well in the community. And so we're always looking for more content and, ways and reasons to come together. So everybody from the commentary booth tonight, and of course, our amazing restreamer, The Dave, we thank you so much for being here, and we hope to see you for all the events next week. And until we do, take your vitamins.